We are back with a Fox News alert. Savannah Guthrie begging for information as tonight marks 6 months since the disappearance of her mother, Nancy, saying in a brand new post on Instagram that somebody out there has to know something. Now, that message comes after Pima County released the alleged ransom notes, with the first one asking for $4 million in Bitcoin, while a follow-up note claimed that Nancy had died. The Pima County Sheriff says releasing those notes may ultimately help the investigation.
Investigators felt like there's a number of pieces of information in these notes that it just might jar someone to say, you know, I've heard that. We hope that by releasing the actual note, we'll get some response from the community. Someone knows who this person is. Someone knows something. We want that person to call us.
Joining us now, the great Donald Rotuno, Fox News legal contributor and host of the Crime and Justice podcast on Fox Nation. I could talk to you by myself for an hour. I have colleagues, so I will share the wealth. Listen, I'm frustrated because I think for quite some time we have felt like there's been more there, and they haven't exactly been forthcoming with all of the details that they have. Tell me where we are in the investigation, and are you satisfied that they're doing all they should be doing right now?
So no one's satisfied because we don't have answers.
Yeah.
Right? If you had answers, you may feel more satisfied. But what are we being told? We're being told, oh, there's these letters. Well, the letters we already knew about. We're just now seeing the actual text of the letters. But we've been told. We were told back in February about both of these letters. We weren't told maybe how specific they were, but we knew there's mountains of information, mountains of DNA, mountains. And then we find out, well, this hair sample didn't produce any DNA. Well, why does it take 6 months to find out that this hair sample doesn't produce any DNA in an investigation that's this important and getting this much coverage? And then he says, well, we have 10,000 videos that we're still going through. Obviously, that's going to take law enforcement a long time. So I'm satisfied that they're working the case, but I'm not satisfied that they're actually getting anywhere.
Donna.
Yes.
What do you think happened?
I think that she was dead in the very few hours. I'm not even so sure she was alive when they sent that February 2nd letter, to be frank. I mean, the fact that they put out the letter on February 2nd, then if you even believe the letters are authentic, right? But if you believe those clues, then if the first letter comes February 2nd, and then they say, we're going to give you 9 days or 7 days or 5 days or whatever it was, and then 4 days later, they send a letter saying she has perished and we didn't mean for it to happen. So the odds are the woman with her condition at her age being terrified and just, you know, the fear she must have felt being pulled out of her home.
And there was blood.
Yes.
And so, you know, the chances of her, even if it were accidental, injured on the way out.
Right, exactly. So I have always felt from the very beginning of this that she was gone very early on, and whether or not these letters are legitimate, no one really knows, and no one's really said one way or another. They have not said that they're not, but they've also not confirmed that they have any real information.
Perhaps it would be to get more leads, but if you listen to the sheriff, as you mentioned, he said we have all this that we're still going through. So what would be the purpose of putting something like that out to the public now?
Yeah, I don't really understand it either. I mean, like I said, we knew that letters existed. They're trying to say that they're hoping that the context and the way that language is used and maybe some of the linguistics qualities here may make somebody come forward and say, I think I know who's speaking this way. I don't see that, frankly. I mean, the letters themselves may use some different words. Tommy, we talked about this a little bit earlier. Words like perished. I'm not so sure that's what a normal person talks about if someone died, and especially in this kind of a context. So I think part of it is grasping at straws. Here we are 6 months later, and just to be able to keep this story in the news and now say, look, here's the actual letters, here's what we actually received, and now we can all sit around and kind of, you know, dissect the contents of those letters, and maybe it makes somebody out there say, you know what, they're not going to stop talking about this. I do know something, and maybe I'll come forward.
Savannah Guthrie, in her Instagram post, said that her family does remain very hopeful, and she actually had a very beautiful quote about how her faith makes that possible to continue believing that. Is there any way for the family to reach closure in this case, especially over the next several months? I know it seems like an impossible thing, but surely there has to be some way for them to bring this case to a close definitively.
It seems to me that there would be different sort of series of closures that maybe they would have. I think they have seemed to come to peace with to these letters saying, you know, we understand, we received your letter, bring her home to us. So I think that they have understood that that's a reality here. But how do you ever really feel any level of closure when you don't know why? And you don't know the manner in which she was taken and or died, and then the fact that you will never be able to bury her in an appropriate or proper maybe religious way, whatever. She was going to Zoom mass. So this was a woman who had faithful friends, was engaging in worship. And so I think that's really tough.
I may be the only person who still thinks there may be an inside play to this whole crime, but, let's hope.
Fox News, officially the Fox News Channel, is a prominent American multinational conservative cable news and television commentary network based in New York City. Launched on October 7, 1996, it is owned by Fox Corporation and has consistently ranked among the most watched cable news networks in the United States. Overview and programming. Focus. The network provides 24-hour news coverage, combining standard news reporting with heavy political commentary, talk shows, and opinion programming. Popular shows. Its lineup includes programs like Fox and Friends, Special Report with Bret Baier, and high-profile evening opinion shows hosted by figures such as Jesse Waters and Laura Ingraham. Platform. In addition to cable television, Fox News broadcasts via digital streaming, its mobile app, and a robust online news website linked to foxnews.com. Editorial stance and criticism. Political orientation. Fox News is widely recognized for its conservative editorial stance and strong alignment with the Republican Party. Critics, researchers, and media watchdogs frequently characterize it as an advocacy news organization. Controversies. Over the years, the network has faced significant scrutiny and legal challenges regarding its reporting standards, including high-profile